Hello. Hi, Instagram. Hello, good people. We are live. Oh my God. It's day 5 of Wealth Consciousness Challenge. We are finally here. Well done for coming this far. It's been beautiful. And again, if you've been showing up fully committed throughout these days and you are on day 5, I am super proud of you. If you are yet to catch up, I am proud of you, and please do that, because there is a lot that this Wealth Consciousness Challenge had. And I am sure that you will grow and expand just through moving the 5 days challenge. So I am so happy for you if you have managed to come this far. Hello. I have fully enjoyed this challenge. Yes, I had a bit of exhaustion here and there, but it has been beautiful. Let me know how the journey has been. How the journey has been for you so far, and what came up for you, or what has been your big aha moment, or a few aha moments as you were watching. So let me know on that. So today, day 5 of Wealth Consciousness Challenge, we are having a Q&A where you get a chance to ask me a question, whether it's about something that you're going through or you're experiencing with your money, or something that you just wanted to expand on or get clarity on, that I covered in the 5-day challenge. And then we're also going to talk about how you can work with me, right? Yes, how you can work with me one-on-one, and some of the benefits of doing the money medicine work that I do through my 16 weeks program of Sacred Abundance Mastermind. Okay, so if you're here and you have a question that you want to move through, or you have a question that you want clarity on, feel free to engage with me. I'm open to helping you move through it. You can also call in and join me on the live stream. Don't be shy. Yeah, so I had, oh my God, it's so hot. So I had one question that came through from right from the beginning of the challenge. There's a lady who was asking how she can begin to influence her daughter and expand her consciousness around money, right? And I thought this is such a beautiful question that every parent needs to know about, right? Because one thing is, we are the very people who are going to who are in the best position to influence our kids, especially around money and how they perceive money. We were parented a certain way, we were taught money a certain way, and we have lived through the experience of being taught, of witnessing money around in a certain way, and therefore we are more equipped to be the ones who shape the minds and who shape the beliefs of our own children, right? So I thought this is amazing. We can talk about this. I love it so much. The thing is, I believe that with all kids, we learn through observation. We learn through witnessing what our parents do. We learn through listening, the words that our parents use around money, regardless, of what they're talking about. We also learn through feeling. I feel like for me, my deepest connection with my parents and how I got to perceive money was not even so much about what they said to me. It was how I felt around them, what I sensed around them in relation to money, or how they would relate to money, right? There were moments that were very positive, and there were moments that I look back now, I'm like, that was a limited way of experiencing money, right? Like I remember a deep connection that I had with my mom, was how I could sense that she's stressed, because I would feel a certain way around her. For example, she'd get irritable, she'd talk about how she needs to pay this and that, she'd get anxious. And although she didn't use many words, I would feel that. And I knew it was connected to money, right? Because of, yes, the little things that she'd say. And I knew it was connected to money because once she had money, all those emotions will sort of turn and dissolve. So that was my way of learning as a child. So it's important that you notice how you influence your child from the things you say, how you make them think about money, and also what they really feel. Because a lot of time I realize that even in my sessions, when I work with people through the past experiences and any trauma that comes up, it's usually mostly about the emotions, how something made them feel. And through their feelings, then they got to create a certain narrative about what it means, for them and for money, for them and their relationship with money. So you want to look into that. One of the most positive things that my mom did for me was that I think this really helped in me learning to be a bit more logical in terms of like how to plan for my money. She used to ask me to write a list of items that we need in the house, like house items. Before shopping, I would be the one who writes that. If she is about to get paid, we would literally draw up the budget together. And yes, here and there, sometimes it didn't make sense. But just that training of knowing that, okay, I get to write things down if I need to go to a shop. I get to write things down that need to be paid for was really very fundamental for my financial planning skills, right? And also, I know that when she would go to the ATM, unlike some parents who feel like, oh, this is a private area, step away, I don't want you to see my pay, and saying to their children. What my mom did used to say, come and learn how to press the ATM. Like, I learned this at a very young age, probably 8 years old or 9 years old. I already knew how to insert the card, how to put in the pin. I'm sure you can find a safe way to do this with your kids, and also how to withdraw money. I don't know why, but she just trusted my soul with this information. Like, okay, yes, this is how you withdraw. This is how you at that time it was mostly withdrawal, to be honest. and she just made it feel safe for me to be standing in that queue and for me to know what I'm doing. Like, I never freaked out. I think it helped me not to freak out when it comes to like handling money, because I was already used to being told that, okay, here, cash the money, put in the pin, this is the money you're withdrawing. And she really didn't mind with her balance. I mean, I know some parents mind, but see how you can implement it. And then I was 12 years old literally when I told her that. That got me excited. And then I told her I want to have my own bank account. And then she let me keep my cards. And that encouraged me to save in my own bank account. I'll deposit 100, I'll deposit $50, and I was allowed to plan for that money. What I would say though, to help you even improve the practicals further, is like, if you have gifted your child with money, sometimes ask them, what did you do? In fact, make it a habit to ask them, what did you do with the money? It helps them learn to account and just discuss, oh, okay, why this particular thing? Just give that sense of curiosity, so that they get to also feel like, wow, okay, I'm making powerful decisions. It will empower them to be more of decision makers and to feel more in control when it comes to their finances, and to expand and think more like, okay, so if I want something that has a high amount of money and I have this much amount, what can I do? Like, they become more solution oriented. So yes, this was very, 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 very helpful. I hope it will help you to instill a lot of connection with how you work with money, with how you are handling your money. You don't have to give them details, but learn to make them feel safer around money being a thing that can be discussed, money being a thing that can be seen as something positive and doing useful stuff. And sometimes share those plans that you would like to be doing with money, and sharing them from a place of excitement and giving them that space to even contribute and say, so what do you guys think I should do in order, to succeed on this project that I want to do. So I think that would really be amazing. We are the type of parents who are going to create millionaires, create billionaires, create wealth-orientated children, children who don't get to abandon themselves when it comes to money, who get to feel more powerful. And the honest truth is that starts with us. It begins with us. The thing that you want your kids to become, the thing that you want your kids to witness of, it's highly possible, especially when they see it from your perspective, when they witness you becoming it. The best way to influence the people around you and your kids is to become the very thing that you ask of them. So I like to say that sometimes when you're going through your whatever financial experiences that you're going through, it's important to sometimes see it from a perspective of a timeline, to say that if I was to literally continue with this very same experiences, exactly how they were, in 2 years, how would I feel about it? How would I feel if my money situations, or the way in which I'm creating wealth right now, the current experience right now, how would I feel if in 2 years nothing has changed and it's still the way it is? How would I feel about it if it was 5 years later? How would my kids feel about it? How would my core self feel about it? How would my partner feel about it? More than anything, should it be 10 years later and I am still playing out the same narrative, how would this look like for me? Right? And then if you want to go deeper, although it can freak you out, what if actually today was your last day? What are some of the things that you realize would come up between your experiences of money, or the way you have been experiencing money and handling money, the way in which you have been progressing or lack of in how you're building wealth? And what comes up is a guidance on whether you actually need to be doing something different, or you actually need to shift and make different decisions that will create a new timeline for you. So it's important to just connect with yourself and then make the decision from that higher power, right? You are here to create experiences for yourself more than anything. So if I was to share with you the thing that I do when I work with people in my 16 weeks program. My 16 weeks program is called the Sacred Abundance Mastermind. It's where I do money medicine work, and money medicine work basically is literally learning to work with money from a multidimensional perspective, or from a more conscious experience, where you no longer just take on your experiences and feel like, oh well, this is what is happening. Oh yes, it's very normal that sometimes I find myself creating many cycles of debts, or it's something that I experience a lot, where I've spent money but I don't know where it's going. It's very normal that sometimes I make certain financial choices or investments choices and it's not even making sense. Oh yeah, it's just the way it is. My business tends to have seasons where it works and where it doesn't. So it's like there is where you have given your power away to say the experiences are just a coincidence, or it's just the way it is. And through money medicine work, you get to really go deeper into looking into, is it just the way it is? Or I can be conscious about how I get to change things, or how I get to experience money. And yes, it's about It's about reclaiming that power. It's about relearning how you want to experience money. It's about taking that authority and that power that you were always gifted with, to say that I'm worthy of creating this type of experience with money, So I always say, what I can tell you is, Sacred Abundance Mastermind, this is the 16 weeks program where you work with me one-on-one, is not about how do I make money. It's not a 10-step process of how to make money. Let's get this clear. It's not about how do I make money as a 10-step process that you're going to follow and then boom, you have money. It's about how do I get more intense with myself, with what I'm passionate about, with my gifts, with my skills. How do I get intense about what is inside of me? So much that I get to trust that this is the very thing that is enough to create wealth for me. So much that I get to draw wisdom into seeing how I can integrate these gifts, how I can integrate so much of myself into creating money channels, practical money channels that can bring in the wealth. It's how do I get so intense that I get to create money channels, that I get to grow my wealth with everything that feels so aligned with me. That's it. That's the 16 weeks program, the Sacred the Sacred Abundance Mastermind is about how you get intense. There's so much light coming into my eyes right now. I literally looked away. Right? It's about how intense it gets for you. And I love to work with people who genuinely, by the time they sign up for this program, they are so committed. They're on another level of commitment to what's creating wealth, that I don't even need to push them or make them feel like, oh, this is important. It's like they have just arrived to that point in their life where they're like, this is so important in my journey that I become more conscious of how I get to create money, and that I get to create wealth in ways that feel liberating and that feel aligned with me, with the things that really feel so natural and aligned for me, right? It's such a mastermind that mostly will call in higher aspects of you. And so this means that it won't always be easy. But what I can tell you is that there are 3 phases, right? There are 3 phases in working with me. The first phase is where you get to be in a lot of deprogramming and having to release everything that is not aligned with who you are, everything that is not aligned and not supportive of where you are going in terms of how you want to be building wealth. So this is where you get clear about where I really am, and you're honest with your financial reality, right? You're honest with your desire. So like, this is what I really want, this is what I desire, this is the vibe that I want, right? And you learn to deeply process what you have been through. A lot of your past experiences around money, a lot of your traumas will come up, but it will come up for you to reclaim more of yourself, the inner genius in you who gets to create wealth in this lifetime, right? And when you process and get more revelations around what is happening with your money, around how you actually want to create wealth, so you will learn to be your own inner guide, right? I like to say you have an inner genius, you have an inner guide who's constantly helping you shape the events of your life so that you can get more opportunities where you can be in your highest experience, right? But most of the time when those events happen, we tend to collapse and feel like, oh my God, this means I am doomed, or this is the most horrible thing that could have happened to me. While in that moment, then you miss the message, right? So this phase is about learning to discern the message. in the experiences that you have, learning to see the opportunities, right? Deriving those opportunities, deriving those messages, and getting deeper revelations of why you are here, in terms of like the timeline that you really could create with your money and with how with the wealth for yourself, and even for your kids and for the future generation, right? And then the second phase of this beautiful program is now the transformation stage, where you get to look in between what is my current vibe, my current experience, my current pain, my current desire, and then where do I really want to go? What is the vision that I want, that I would love to bring to life for my business, for my desires, for the wealth that I want to build? And in between that, realizing the work that needs to be done, realizing the aligned action, the highest aligned action that you need to be taking, realizing the what feels safe for you as you move through this timeline. So the transformation is the in-between. What needs to be done? If I am no longer a victim, how do I create victory with my business? If I am no longer abandoning my gifts, abandoning who I am, abandoning my skills, how do I then take actions? How do I then begin to shape my life, to shape my experiences, to shape my bank account in a way that now supports me reclaiming my authority and my power, right? So it's the in-between of where I'm going. And then the third phase is about now bringing in the strategies, the practicals of like, okay, so with these gifts, Nonofang, how do I create more money? Or if I'm already creating more money, how do I expand more money? And we work with that. And mostly I will tell you that you will find yourself realizing how much you have been holding yourself back, and realizing that you are giving yourself more permission to go for more, right? Because you always were deserving of more, because you always yearned for more. It's just that there is where certain things were holding you back. So this is the phase where you're like, I am no longer holding back. I know what I want. I know where I'm going. I know what needs to get done. And therefore, this is what I'm implementing. Badass. It gets intense. It's work that evolves over time. It's work that elevates over time, right? And throughout, we're working with your consciousness. I do money medicine work for consciousness more than anything. I know that your consciousness needs to evolve, and everything that is aligned with you will come into place, right? Everything comes into place, comes into alignment when your consciousness evolves. And so, yes, 16 weeks of working with me. This is like every week, 2 hours on Zoom. It's an online program that we get to work together on. And for 2 hours, we meet every week, and we use different tools to help you expand with your money, to help you create a very much aligned and profitable and ideal wealth investment portfolio from the foundational to the phase that you are able to receive it. So this is also where I get to say that if you have only been creating money from a place of familiarity, where this is what I thought, this is what I always knew, money medicine work gives you a chance to step out of that comfort of only dealing with what is familiar and claiming the unfamiliar, stepping into the unfamiliar. Unfamiliar money can be, okay, I realize that I have potential to be making money, once a week, but what if I could actually have it every day? I realize that I have been working with only a few clients or certain number of clients. And sometimes it's actually more clients that I need, because I felt like, oh, this is what I needed to bring in the money. And then you get to realize, what if the most aligned thing for me is like, I just need to be working on my financial goal, but it is not matching with, oh, that means I have to work with 100 people in order to get that money. So it's about, what are the things that I am willing to commit to get to experience an unfamiliar experience that still feels so true for me and how I want to create money, Right now, one of the things that I had to drop throughout working in my business was that I don't get to exist in a timeline where I need to exhaust myself in order to make money, because I am going to do things that already I feel like I'm so good at, and I will work on improving them, and I will work in my highest alignment, but I no longer have to tear myself and sweat and break myself down in order to have money, or compromise myself or oppress myself, right? So that's no longer something that I want to exist in. That is what is familiar with other people, but I don't exist there anymore, and I have put in the work to keep deprogramming, to keep releasing that, and work with, like, how do I tap more into what is unfamiliar, which is like, oh, it can be sweet to make money. It's not stressful. It's beautiful. So your level of commitment to working with what is unfamiliar and experience what is unfamiliar is what really will make it easier for you to see the beauty in doing money medicine work, right? So we work with healing those financial patterns that you find yourself being loyal to, you find yourself in repetitive cycles with. These are patterns that are in your family, that are in your bloodline. We work with shifting, the emotions of frustration, of stress, of powerlessness around money, and shifting that into, okay, when it comes to your money, how do you learn to work with money from a place of courage, from a place of clarity, from a place of trust, right? How do I create money channels that I feel liberating and that feel aligned with me? We work on your wealth portfolio, how to build a wealth portfolio that supports your income expansion. And right, more than anything, being deep-rooted in your level of enoughness and deservedness. Listen, I don't work with everyone. I work with people who are genuinely committed to wanting to create wealth. Like, with money, with wealth, you have to desire it if you want to actually create it. You have to desire it. Let's not pretend this is not something you don't care about, or this is not something that can help you become more resourceful in the life that you want. But it doesn't necessarily have to be the end goal for you, right? I always say, for me, I make money because genuinely my soul wants to have options in life and create beautiful memories. But it's not about the money. Like, if someone else would say, should I give you 2 million or should I give you the house of my dreams? I'll choose the house of my dreams, right? That's just how my soul sees things. And I love to give people the opportunity to really, for themselves, get to redefine what it means for them to be financially successful, what it means for them to be building wealth. So yeah, but you have to be deep rooted in your desire. It has to be like, this is what I deeply desire. Okay, so I work with the good girl. This is someone who knows deep down that they are playing at a level that is not where they're supposed to be with that money, right? So it can be the good girl or the good boy, right? Deep within, even when you are sitting down, you are like, I know I'm meant for a bigger game. But right now, sometimes I feel wobbly about it. Sometimes I feel like I figured it, but not really. And you just feel it in your core that, you know what? I want to create more with my life. I want to create more with my gifts. I want to align my money and my purpose, right? I want to be impactful with my money. And therefore, I can no longer exist within a shell that, is masking who I truly am, right? because sometimes it's like we are caught up in many illusions of like, this is who we're supposed to be, and then we create our money experiences for that. So if you're ready to just break out and say, this is not me anymore, I know I am deserving more, I know I can be an empowered being when it comes to how I create money and how I create wealth, and therefore I am ready to leap, sign up for this money medicine program. I'm happy to work with you. It has to be from your core, right? Or you can be at a point in time where you're like, listen, I do see the money, but I don't feel like the desires that I have are being anchored and supported by this money, right? And sometimes it's difficult for me to see how I can implement more of the things that will support my money, matching my desires and anchoring more of my desires, right? You want to be now creating more assets. You want to now be creating, that portfolio around your money. You want to now be creating money with your highest interest and assigning money to your highest desires and your highest interest. I'd love to work with you. You could also just be at a point in your life where like, I make money, but I'm exhausted, right? I make money, but there's exhaustion that comes with making money. It feels like I'm burnt out. Even as I work in this business, I am so burnt out. I put in the hours, but I still just feel so drained instead of feeling refreshed and renewed when I make money. And you want to shift how you are experiencing money from a place of exhaustion to now saying that it feels refreshing, it feels renewed. I no longer have to be overwhelmed to create money. So this would be really good for you to also sign up, because it's like you are just that exhausted, that weary warrior, and you've been in this game for so long. For 20 years, I've worked with someone who said, for 20 years I've been working, but it just feels like I haven't made progress, right? So sometimes when it feels like I have been working for so long, but I haven't made progress, or it feels like I haven't progressed, there's a high chance that you're probably working with money from being in a loop where it's like you are in repetitive cycles, but you are just not breaking out. You are not breaking out. And you want to finally break out of those cycles so that it can now become real for you to experience something new with your money. And you begin to now say, okay, what are the things that I deeply desire to build, to influence, to fund really with my life? And no longer just be like, I just make money to pay bills. So if this is you, if it feels like you repeatedly find yourself in cycles and it feels like you just don't feel that progress, you just feel sometimes an energy of stagnancy, and you are ready to break out of that and create a new pattern for yourself, I'd be happy to work with you. I am committed to working with you and helping you move through those current financial experiences and maneuver to a new reality of how you get to experience money and wealth. So yes, through this 16 weeks program, we get to do this work of transformation, this work of elevation, of evolving, of more than anything expanding your consciousness. We heal your financial patterns, we create money channels for your gifts, we expand money channels for your gifts, and we tap into the unfamiliar territory. It's really fun working with me, I can tell you. I'm very relaxed, I'm fun, I am a great listener, and I am a genius at pulling in revelations of the things that you probably have been overlooking or underestimating when it comes to you, when it comes to the way in which you're able to create. And that gift of mine, the ability to hold space for you to just see yourself at a higher level, has been so rewarding for the people that I've worked with. So honestly, I look forward to helping you become more courageous, become more clear, and learning to trust yourself. There is an inner genius within you waiting to awaken. waiting to create far more beyond than you can imagine, and waiting to be liberated, honestly. And I'm here for your inner genius. More than anything, I'm here for the intense you, and I want that intense you, and I love that intense you, and I'm proud of that intense you. So yes, so this is going to be the last intake for the year, right? The 16 weeks program, Sacred Abundance Mastermind, is officially open for enrollment, for signing up. And this is going to be the last intake for the year, right? So I have extended the deadline as far as possible to the 30th of November for you to prepare to work with me or jump in. Honestly, if you already know what needs to be done, jump in. And we start as soon as you are ready. So it's not like if the deadline is 30th November, it means that I'm going to wait till 30th of November. No. I just gave a bigger time allowance in order to allow more people who need this work to jump in as the last batch of this year. And then that's it. We'll have to wait for next year. So it's 16 weeks. It's finally open for enrollment now. Right now, you can click on the bio link to read more about the Sacred Abundance Mastermind, which is where I do money medicine work at a deeper and intense level. And then, yes, work with you one-on-one for 16 weeks online. We have weekly sessions, 2-hour weekly sessions every week. So deadline is 30th of November. That's the last day of signing up. I do have payment plans for this mastermind. If you are interested, it's $1333 US. And if you are interested in signing up and right now, and you feel like you will need a payment plan, you don't have that once-off amount, that's fine. We discussed the payment plan. It's 3 months, 6 months payment plan where you can get more flexible in how you get to be paying for or investing in this mastermind. So yeah, is there anything that I am forgetting? Feel free to inbox me if you have any questions, if you need any more clarity, if you anything that you need to inquire on, especially on the 16 weeks program, Sacred Abundance Mastermind. So when you sign in, when you sign up for the program, you're going to find that there are certain questions that will come up that you need to fill in. So it's there's an application process that you have to go through. And once I've seen your application and I feel you qualify to work with me, then we can schedule a free discovery call, 30 minutes free discovery call to go deeper and discuss further the more details about this program, right? Before we can start. So this is where most of the time you'll get more clarity, and you also get a chance to also know me and feel my vibe. If you're someone who's intuitive, that's when you are like going to get to experience on whether is this for you or not. Am I the person for you or not? I am for you, but it's just for you. So 30 minutes free if your application is successful, is scheduled for us to just get to know each other. So you can expect that as well, right? Okay, let me love and leave you. Thank you so much for honoring yourself, to be on this journey, for honoring yourself and committing to the 5 days Wealth Consciousness Challenge. Even if you and I don't get a chance to work together soon, I want you to know that I deeply desire for love, for peace, for freedom, for everything that you deeply want, especially with your money, with your journey of wealth creation. I pray that God strengthens you. I pray that you awaken to the highest power within you, where you can truly believe in who you are, believe in your enoughness, believe in your deservingness, believe in your journey. And I pray deeply that even when at times it feels like things are not making sense or are not working, I pray that you see the opportunity in that. I pray that your God self reminds you of how deeply important this path is for you, and reminds you of the strength that you carry, and reminds you of the wisdom that you carry, and the light that you are bringing to yourself, to your DNA, to your loved ones, to your bloodline, to your children, in many ways, so that you never get to give up at all, so that you keep going, and so that you keep materializing the things that are inside you. I deeply pray that every prayer that you pray, every aligned action that you take, that it materializes into fruitfulness. It materializes into the deep desires that you've always held. I have seen the things that I desire come to life. I have witnessed things and said, oh my God, I prayed for this. I have seen people who would tell me that they wish for this and this, and 10 years later I'm like, you created this. You are a creator of your life. You are very powerful. You have that authority, and you are an active creator in your wealth. And that means that anytime you can always elevate at the level that you want to. It is always within you, and so it is, and so it is. Amen, amen, amen. Thank you so much. I love you, and you are deeply loved by your God self too. And the Holy Spirit and the Holy Guardian. So yes, you won't be seeing me live for some time, but I will drop in those videos because I love them too, right? See you soon. I look forward to meeting those of you who are going to be signing up for the 16 weeks program. Mwah! Bye.